Hi, I'm Dr. Satish Kumar, and this is Kaizen Dental. Our aim here is to help dentists succeed. In today's Kaizen Dental Success Stories podcast, we have with us Dr. Gargi Roy Goswami. She has the unique journey of doing her graduation, then her master's in applied genetics, after which she went and did her BDS. Currently, she's working on research related to saliva. She also has an organization which helps young dentists get into the field of research. Dr. Gargi Rai Goswami first completed her postgraduate degree in applied genetics. Then she went on to do her BDS from the Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. Her primary research interest is in the field of oral cancer genetics, in which she has more than 10 years of experience. She has been the alumni of the School of Biotechnology and the Jawaharlal Nehru University. She has also worked as a project associate in IIT Kharagpur. She has come up with the Indian Academy for Clinical and Dental Genetics to promote interdisciplinary scientific education. Her first company, KRYONAS, caters to online education and training pertaining to dental genetics and saliva diagnostics. She also organizes Salsi, which is a symposium focused to propagate the benefits of non-invasive diagnostic tools, salivary diagnostics, and advanced genomic technological applications in dentistry and medicine. Among her various endeavors, one is Genomedin, which is an online interdisciplinary e-magazine. Hi, Dr. Gargi. Thank you for giving your time to coming and sharing your unique journey. The most unique thing I liked about your journey is most people after BDS think about various career options. You, on the other hand, did your graduation, did your master's, and then came into dentistry. So I
Mhm.
would like to know the story behind this unique journey of yours.
All right. So, thank you so much, first of all, Dr. Satish, for this opportunity and putting up my story in your channel. It means a lot to me. And yes, to answer your question, well, then I have to make my long story short. I grew up in a family of dentists, and my father, Dr. Kamlesh Chandra Roy, he was the first dentist of a town named Berhampur in West Bengal, India. So in that way, I played with casts and X-rays. That was my childhood. So I always wanted to do something different. So I never went into dentistry that time. So I followed a different path where I studied molecular biology. I went to study genetics. I went and worked. My research career was in JNU, that is Jawaharlal Nehru University. Then from there, I went went to IIT Kharagpur. I was there for some time as a project associate, and then due to some demands in the family, I left my opportunity to pursue higher studies in the US, and because that time my dad had a cerebral attack. And since our clinic, my dad's clinic, had started long back in 1964, so maybe out of that passion, I thought that I just have to do something to take this forward. So that was my journey, and I thought, well, if I have to, just do something, so I have to get into it. So at least a basic knowledge is required, because for some time I tried that, okay, let me make a team and pull few people and run it as a business. That didn't work out. So I thought, okay, if I go abroad, at least I need 5 years to do something, to get into higher studies and more. So why not invest in BDS? So I just did that. And yeah, so that is how I came into BDS after my research career.
So after you finished your BDS, there was a time where you were dabbling between both. You were doing research as well as running your dad's clinic. How was the time? How did you go through it at that point of time?
Yeah, actually, to be very honest, when I did my basic sciences education, and my particular interest was is research interest was in the field of oral cancer genetics. So, but when I studied dentistry, I had no idea before that how oral cancer would look like, because we used to do many things in lab. I used to work with cell lines, I used to do cloning, all the stuff was there, but I had no idea how dreadful cancer could be, what would be clinically, how it looks like. So all those things, when I studied like a basic knowledge, which I got in BDS, after that, I thought, okay, when I have the two knowledge, maybe I can do something for the society. And yes, as you asked me what was the challenge, basically I put up in Chennai, and from Chennai I used to travel every month to my hometown, that is Berhampur, and 15 days I used to do there my practice, and come back and do whatever I was doing. So that was, I continued for almost 4 years. So that was, yes, it was challenging, but it was very, very exciting as well. I always enjoy what I do.
That's a very good thing. It keeps you motivated then.
Absolutely.
So after that, you decided to dive straight into only doing research. So what is Salsi, your research organization, all about?
Okay, so Salsi is basically not a research organization, but as you know that I have been from the basic sciences field, so this is all about saliva. So Salsi is basically the acronym for International Saliva Summit of India. So here is again a long story short has to be done here. So I, as a student, I don't know, I got enthusiastic about saliva, and particularly after studying dentistry and getting more insights about the clinical aspects and what not can be done. So I was quite excited, and I saw that with saliva, though in the dental fraternity, saliva is most of the time a foe, but if saliva can be introduced as a friend, then I think dental researchers can do wonders. And in this quest, I started searching and connecting to global pioneers. Naming few of them would be Dr. Paul Desmond Sloy, who is my mentor as well as collaborator at this point. So I came to know about North American Saliva Symposium. So this journey of bringing saliva researchers in the global perspective had started with Dr. Paul's and Dr. Jill Marin, who is the founder of this particular endeavor. So they came together and they started this in a North American Saliva Symposium. So my straightaway question was that, can I do it in India? So because I really didn't know that what it would be like, and it was just out of my passion. So I started Salsi in 2019, and yeah, so that was the beginning, because saliva gives you a very wide prospect. And particularly what I understood that when I saw particularly my dental colleagues who were postgraduate students that time, many people do work with saliva, but I think there is a gap in the understanding. They do because the sample collection is easy, but the saliva gives you a very, very wider opportunity as a not only as a researcher, and you can take it to the next level, really contributing to the society, making some devices or bringing new innovations. So this is something which I have realized. I just wanted to connect the dots, and it is always good to learn from the experts. So this is how Salsi started, and I continued the journey. And again, Salsi 21 Salsi 2022 is coming, and 21 due to COVID, I had to make it online. I never stopped because it was very, very challenging for me, because Salsi, basically the concept was to do it in different cities in India, so that we can gather interested minds and tell people, make awareness about this particular wonderful area of saliva diagnostics and research. So that's all the history about Salsi. And the last Salsi 2020 was in IISc Bangalore. And I think Indian Institute of Sciences is one of the premier
Yes.
institutes in India. So, but unfortunately, I couldn't do the physical formats. Well, I'm just trying to continue the journey.
So do you have any way in which they can the viewers can connect with Salsi? Is there anything you?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. We have they can follow the Facebook page of Salsi. We have an Instagram profile as well. Other than that, we have the official website of the conference, that is www.salsi.in. So all the information is out there, and we also have a YouTube channel, but that's very nascent stage. But I just started it so that I can put up about the conference, as well as bring people to know more about saliva. So that's called the Spit School. That there is a website, there's a YouTube channel for that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what does a dental genetic expert actually do? Matlab, once you learn all this, what is their
Mhm.
role and what is their job profile as?
Well, Dr. Satish, the thing is that we really don't have a kind of degree, or we cannot attach that like this. But dental genetics is something which I would not say that I have discovered, because that is always there as a subject, as a discipline. Only thing I think that it is not much spoken of, or it is not popular. So when I studied both the fields, like from basic sciences, and as I mentioned that my expertise was in oral cancer genetics, but at that time I had no idea what oral cancer would be like. And then when I came to BDS, I understood. And what I found is that there is a huge gap between the understanding of the basic sciences and the clinical sciences, where if we can bridge this gap by giving you basic knowledge, because my point is that a dentist at the in one night nobody can become a geneticist or a molecular biologist, but at least the basic knowledge if they have, they can take things forward, they can understand how to collaborate with other people from the fraternity. So basically dental genetics is something which gives you a taste of uh, all the dishes. So all the dishes. So in this case, you move ahead and you can understand the importance of interdisciplinary science. So that is my basic goal with bringing dental genetics up, and bringing this academy up as well. And I just do different courses which are interdisciplinary. I talk about interdisciplinary scientific knowledge sharing. And I also run a e-magazine, which is completely free, which is named as Genomedin. And it focuses particularly on dental genetics, saliva diagnostics and research, several lifestyle tips and career growth tips. Apart from that, there are so many things we keep doing. So yes, so that is it about dental genetics. And if you ask a role, when you as a dentist, you learn the technology, you don't know that you are so powerful that you can conquer the world. Because the problem is always you cannot depend on small things from a on a third party. At least you should have a basic knowledge, because today, suppose for example, if you are given a sugar blood sugar report, as a dentist you can read that and you can educate your patient because you know how to interpret. So suppose when students, I saw that students, they do PCR, they will have MDS thesis, big fat ones. But when you ask them what is PCR and why did they do that, I found that is my experience. I might be wrong, or many people might differ, and I respect that. But that is my experience, where I found that they don't understand even the basics. So if there is something which is going wrong, they don't have an opportunity to understand that. So with all these, I understood that something has to be done in this area, and that is how I you can tell I promote the healthcare research as a career pathway, because it gives you a wide area of creativity, a wide area of applications. Particularly, the real meaning of research.
Okay. So this Cryonas, you have a association or a company. What type of courses do they conduct? And how does the academy of clinical which you're running, how
Mhm.
do they function? So how are these courses managed? How do students approach you and how do they enroll for them?
Yeah. So the KRYONAS, basically, this is the one of the first startup in India, which focuses particularly on dental genetics and saliva diagnostics. So this is an online education platform. So we have a website called www.genedent.com. So if you go there, at present, I have 3 to 4 signature courses. These are all 2 months online courses. They are self-paced, and we are very active through we make WhatsApp groups of registered participants, They can ask questions, though it is online and safe, self-paced. We have a very good system of reminders. So you cannot go out without completing the course. So that we ensures it is completely online, and they can visit and read the details. So oral cancer genetics is there, periodontal genetics is there, saliva technologies, and how to plan your research. So these are the present moment we are working on these four aspects. And yeah, so till now, I think we have a lot of almost at least oral cancer genetics is my signature course. And I think I'm very happy that, dental from the dental fraternity was a very good response, because in all my courses, I have a very mixed crowd, right from students, interns, freshers, professors, HODs. So that's something gives me a very good, punch of motivation. Yes.
Great, really great. For all our viewers, all the websites she's spoken about, we'll be posting them in our Instagram page. So if you want to go there, do check it out. So my
Thank you.
next question to you is, uh, how would you advise someone who's just completed their BDS and planning to get into research? What would you tell them are the steps they need to take to be successful in it?
Yeah. So the first of all, I would like to say that when we talk about research, we have certain misconceptions about research. We think research is for somebody who will have fat glass, eyes, and they'll sit in the lab, and something very great. Well, research is just like you do your dentistry. And I personally, I'll tell you, doing research is easier than doing a class one cavity. Why I say this? Because when if you want to go to the field of research, that is oral healthcare research, let me just pin down those areas how you can take your career ahead. Well, in India, after your graduation, if you are completing your BDS, first of all, right from your second year or third year, you can take up short term projects with your professors, and you can take the taste of how it works. Secondly, there are many grants, particularly for students, from ICMR, DBT, DST. So DBT is Department of Biotechnology, DST is Department of Science and Technology. These are all government bodies, government organizations. There are many small grants. You have to follow their websites. And if you go there, you can apply. Nothing is easy in life, that's true, but you can make a small brief proposal. You can see what are the guidelines, follow that, apply, and if you get it, very well. So this is one way. When you are as a student, you can do one I can remember, and I can say that in ICMR there is something called STS grant, which is particularly for students. All right, so this is one way. So after you complete your graduation, what do you do if you want to go to research? In most of the IITs, like IIT Mumbai, IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, and I think many of the IITs have departments, even IIT Madras, they have interdisciplinary research department. And you can actually go into the website. There will be emails. They're very responsive. Go and throw your message that what is the eligibility. So basically, as I know, there are certain examinations that has to be taken, and then it goes through a round of interviews, and then you get selected, and directly you get into integrated programs, like where you complete your masters, like MTech, and then you continue that project into your PhD. So this is the direct pathway in India. Well, and if you're like if you want to follow the traditional pathway, that is also there. Like from BDS, you go to MDS, and then you get into some
PhD.
research organization. Yes, PhD. So that's always there. And another thing, after completing your graduation, there are also certain things. If you are entrepreneur by heart, or if you want to do something on your own, there are something called as incubation centers throughout India, not only in IITs, different universities. If you just scratch your university, you will see they also have an incubation center, because this is something where now Government of India supports this endeavors, where you have your own proposal, you have your own idea, you go and become an incubatee. They will mentor you. Yes, there is just very small charges for that. You can check with all these things. And incubation centers are certain things, certain organizations where you get all the facilities of high-end laboratory equipments and everything. Well, there will be some monthly charges. It depends on how it goes. But the only eligibility is that you need to be a graduate. So you can, as a dental graduate, you can try and test this out. And if you are thinking of going abroad, well, opportunities are more definitely compared to our country. So you can select certain programs like Masters in Public Health, Masters in Epidemiology. Now, many different universities throughout the world, they're coming up with online programs, which you can actually start, but the part of it has to be completed there. So you can take up master's programs in these kind of areas. There is also MSc programs in oral biology, different different aspects of these. If you are looking forward to these areas after graduation, you can apply, and definitely you follow the protocol, whatever has to be done. And these are the different ways you can take your career up inside into oral healthcare research. And saliva is something which I always say, though in the global community also, the global perspective, the very small group of people. But I want to mention one thing about somebody. He's called, I mean, if you name saliva and saliva diagnostics, I would definitely name here his mentor of mentors, Dr. David T.W. Wang. If you go and search, you will understand who he is and what he does. Well, he is a dentist, okay, and he is a pioneer father figure in terms of saliva diagnostics. He has made so many innovations, and if you take up healthcare research as your career, you get into industry, as well as if you want to go into academics, it gives you flexibility to that. At the same time, you can think of contributing to society or getting into entrepreneurship by building your own instruments, devices, however you think. There is definitely a process. You have to go through the process, but it is not impossible because many people are doing it out there.
Your explanation of all the methods they can take to get into it was extremely detailed. I'm sure the listeners would have got a lot of points from it. You have explained each and every step in detail how they can get into clinical research. Thanks a lot for that. Just for that simple answer, it was extremely detailed.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Uh, I would want to know also what are you working on currently? I heard there is a book coming up. I would like to know details about it. And when is your next conference of Salsi? How can people register for that as well?
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Satish, for bringing up about the book. Yes, I recently authored a book called as COVID-19 and Detection Strategies, Swab to Saliva. So basically, we all know that now the COVID test, whatever is being going on, it's with the nasopharyngeal swabs. But saliva has a very big role, and mostly in the global perspective, if you see, and even in India, we have many scientists and researchers who are coming up with saliva, and I think it will not take much time. Very soon you will see some saliva tests hopping around in the market, and that makes your life easy. So this book basically focuses on the different types of principles which you can use, which has been used in building up this kind of tests. It is a very simple language book. Anybody can take up and read. Any science enthusiast, even a layman, can understand. And in this, we also have focused the different aspects of how saliva can be used and how saliva plays a very important role in early diagnosis of COVID-19, because the viral load in saliva is very easily detectable even when the person doesn't have any COVID symptoms. So in this case, saliva plays a huge role in identifying asymptomatic individuals, because we all know that that is more dangerous, because they are kind of carriers, right? They help in spread the disease over more. So that is there. And in a global perspective, you get a information about all the FDA approved saliva tests on a global scenario. And you also get some insight about the industry related to saliva diagnostics. We have put up a small market research about it. And so that's all about the book. And yes, it's releasing in Diwali, coming Diwali this year. So we are all very excited. And my co-authors are Dr. Rujuta Patil. Rujuta is in my organization. She is the assistant editor of the e-magazine. And as I said, my mentor, Dr. Paul Desmond-Sloy, he's the CEO of OSS Diagnostics USA. So we all got together and we thought that something has to be done. So this book is the product, yes. And for Salsi, definitely Salsi is happening in January 28th to 30th of January 22. This is completely online. And you can, all the details, as I said, is again in the website, www.salsi.in. And you can make, like if you want to register, you can go ahead in the website. There are several categories, like for students, we have different registration fees, for professionals, for industry people. So that is how it is. And you can pay online in the website itself.
Thank you. Thank you for about all those details. So for those who are waiting for the book, we'll be posting the book in the description below soon as it is released. So if you want to buy it, go there and buy your copy now. Thank you, Dr. Gargi, for taking your time and coming and sharing your unique journey of doing BDS after doing your masters. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Satish. It is my pleasure, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experience and my journey in this versatile platform. Thank you so much, and I must say you are doing a wonderful job, because I think the type of information that comes out through your channel, it is very, very useful for the particularly the freshers, particularly the students who are going to be professionals, but in our dental fraternity, because I think there is too much of information overload, but there are so many unique pathways that can be taken, and I think you are doing a fantastic job, and I
Thank you.
congratulate you on that.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Gargi. Thank you.
Thank you.